Well, looks like Legend of Korra is going to be a legend after all. Oh, already? Okay, let's see. We were on The Return of Queen Chrysalis Part 3, which begins with... Okay, looks like we're actually going back to the show this week, just to pace it out. So, today's episode is Equestria Games, which I haven't actually seen yet, but I can get around to watching it no problem, so just give me some time and I'll be back. Okay, for some reason the producers think it'd be funnier and more appropriate this time around if I just made up a summary without actually watching the episode in song. Okay. Oh, this episode's about the Equestria Games, which we know involves the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are in a race, and I guess they do really well. And actually, it just occurred to me that it's really all the same if I make up whatever I want. So how about Rainbow wins at the last minute by pulling off a sonic rain boom, and then gets disqualified for breaking everyone's necks as she zooms by them like that, and then an Olympic boxing tournament that ends with the legendary slugfest between none other than Big Macintosh and Bulk Biceps, even though they're kinda from the same town, and then an Olympic skiing match with a big conspiracy to take out Pinkie Pie, and it climaxes with the big James Bond ski chase that Pinkie Pie wins with her cartoon physics, and then an Olympic javelin match gone horribly wrong, spearing Surrey, Diamond Tiara, and Babseed. And Applejack, overcome with grief, finally gives fans a nod by taking solace in the sweet romantic embrace of the character we all know as... Okay, this is stupid, I'm watching the episode. Wait a minute, this thing's about Spike? Okay, now Equestria Games is one of those episodes that I could picture holding people up. For the reason it held me up at first, it's about Spike, which you'd think would be kind of an odd choice, because they've spent a lot of time building up these games and establishing that characters we know are going to take part in them, so, okay, you'd think that would be an odd choice. In fact, since it's the Olympics for ponies, at very least you'd think the main character would be a pony, you'd think the sidekick Baby Dragon would be the last character with a main role in this, but, looking back, I do think it made sense. Mostly because, who would it be about? I mean, the characters we've established who are taking part, their stories were already kind of told in the episodes that established that. I mean, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, all the anxieties or hardships you'd think would come with them taking part were kind of explored in their episodes, so yeah, to make it about them again, I think they would have had to just sort of make up new things. And yeah, if they didn't have any particularly inspired ideas, I can see kind of the approach they took, just sort of showing us the games as a payoff, and then weaving in the story of a character who's a little bit more sidelined from it, who is not has not gotten their moment to shine because of these games yet, and so has hard feelings maybe that are exacerbated by them, and so from that standpoint, I think it actually made a lot of sense to choose Spike because, who's sidelined more than him? And, in fact, the approach they take here is that he does get his chance to shine, and it's pretty clever how they introduce this. They go back to when he got one of his other moments to shine, one of the few and far between moments, which was saving the Crystal Empire, where these games are taking place. So it turns out now he's been made a celebrity. It was kind of implied that it's because of Princess Cadence, so, yeah, and he's asked to then make a celebrity appearance and light the torch to open the ceremony and all of that, so, okay, but then he chokes in the spotlight, so, yeah, he doesn't feel so great after that, so it's like, okay, can he, feel worthy of his newfound celebrity status, so, alright, the only thing is, though, you can kind of see the games smothering him a little bit, the one plot, smothering the other, because you know, they obviously don't want to push the games off to the side too much. They've spent so much time building it up. So, yeah, I kind of think that instead of really focusing on Spike's progression, really showing us point by point, they make it a little more episodic. It's not so much that it feels stop and start, but yeah, we do sort of keep looking at the games and then cutting back to Spike, who is now on a different note. So, you know, we're going through a new episode of his story. So, okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean they don't do a good job. Like, I think it starts out very well with, yeah, Spike getting his newfound celebrity status, kind of like Rainbow Dash and Ne'er-Do-Well. Actually, it really makes you appreciate how the writers pay attention to personality differences, because yeah, they both get a lot of praise that they weren't expecting. They're both told that they're really great for something they didn't think they'd be getting that much credit for, and you know, they're both conscientious. You know, they are not out of touch with reality. You know, they are not, well, I mean, they can be unreasonable, but they're not necessarily. But okay, Rainbow is someone who at least thinks that she wants all the praise in the world and has built up in her mind that, yeah, she should be getting it. So, okay, even though she didn't actually think it should happen here, once she realizes that everyone else is going to keep thinking that and going to keep giving it to her, she's like, well, okay, I guess this is what I always wanted. Yeah, keep it coming, bring it on. But Spike, on the other hand, while he's not without an ego, he's someone who does not necessarily think that he should be getting all the praise in the world. Like, he is a little more used to playing the assistant role, so he feels the need to earn it and to live up to it even while he's getting it. So okay, and yeah, it really shows, like when he chokes in the spotlight, how he feels the need to redeem himself and all that, even though it's kind of predictable that he would choke in the spotlight and stuff. You can really see where he's coming from. And also too, with Cadence, you know, telling him what a big shot he is, building him up, you kind of get the sense that she's not just grateful, that she kind of likes being nice to him. That, yeah, like when she talks to him, it's not condescending, it's not like she's, yeah, trying to just butter him up, trying to BS him, but yeah, you do sort of get the sense that she really wants him to notice that, yeah, she's calling him all of these honorable titles and stuff, just kind of like she maybe sees what he is, sort of the little brother of the group who is not unappreciated, but does sort of have to stay on the sidelines a lot. So yeah, it kind of seems like she likes letting him have his moment, or kind of likes building him up to, you know, she's fond of him or whatnot. So okay, just one of those endearing qualities about Cadence. So okay, I definitely appreciated that. But anyway, though, after he fails, then it starts to get, like I said, kind of episodic. Like Spike, after talking to Miss Harshwinny, who's also in this episode, and being very harsh on Spike, he abruptly decides that throwing himself a pageant is the way to get his honor back. During the medal ceremony, he's going to sing the song that they're just playing the music to, and then of course he is told too little too late that he had the song wrong. It's actually a song he's never heard before. So, yeah, and I mean, even though the smart thing to do here would be to say, oh, sorry, there's been a misunderstanding, I can't actually do this, I have to go now, enjoy your ceremony. Of course, he freezes in the spotlight, and he has everyone who loved the idea chanting, like, yeah, sing to us, Spike the Brave, and whatever, I'm never going to remember that title, but, okay, and then he just goes for it and makes up an anthem, feeling like he's totally trapped, and, you know, it's kind of like the wig joke with Pinkie Pie and Cranky the Donkey, if you remember that, except this time there's an actual joke that, yeah, Spike rushed into something and now can't back out, or at least thinks he can't back out, and we have to do the most awkward thing possible with, yeah, Spike making up an anthem on the spot about how the Wonderbolts love their home because it has nice trees, and everyone cringing more and more, and then to cap it off at the end, when you think you've heard the whole joke, the silent stadium except for the crying babies, as Spike finishes the anthem, you just hear Pinkie Pie shouting over all of it, "Nailed it!" Which, okay, so that was very funny, but even so, though, it does just sort of let Spike be on a, you know, sort of an episodic adventure, like I said, instead of one that's really sinking its teeth into what he's going through. So, okay, until the end, that is, where, you know, through very complicated turn of events that you just kind of have to watch the episode to get. A giant ice ball ends up falling on the stadium, and all of the unicorn's magic has been disabled, so there's no cheating, so they can't stop it. So Spike has to leap across the backs of the Pegasi and time a shot with his fire breath just right to melt it and turn it into a harmless downpour. Okay, it would have been all too easy to let the episode write itself from there, to just say that, okay, yeah, see, Spike, I told you were awesome. Like, well, I don't know. No, see, I mean, everyone can have a bad day, but, you know, you just proved it. Well, okay. So, okay, just going that route would have been all too easy, but instead, this is where I think they do really sink their teeth into what Spike is going through. You know, they have him say that he doesn't feel better. You know, it's not a matter of just earning more awesome points than he lost. It's a matter of feeling like he couldn't step up when he was asked to. You know, maybe, like, because what he just did, saving the day, he may have redeemed himself for everyone else, but and you could argue with him that it doesn't prove that he has all the capabilities he needs. But, you know, even so, that was sort of the right alignment of circumstances, whereas the torch was them asking him to step up in the spotlight and him not managing to do it. So, okay, you can kind of see where he's coming from and kind of see why he doesn't feel any better. He's just still hung up on that one thing. And so then Twilight kind of hits the nail on the head. She says that, okay, well, I think I get it. You know, we all keep saying you didn't let everyone down, so I think the only one who's mad at you is you, and that you're the only one who's gonna make it right with yourself. So, and then they give him another chance to, light something important, in this case the fireworks, the closing ceremony, and so he does that while giving us the closing narration, saying that just this really well-phrased wrap-up that, you know, all the praise in the world means nothing if you don't feel it yourself, and, you know, so sometimes you gotta let go of the past if you want to really shine your brightest. And I mean, I don't know, it just leaves you with a really good feeling. The kind of week I've had, I could use a message like that, actually, but no, seriously, I think it's just, very well phrased, another very mature sort of message that I think is very useful to a lot of the people who would have heard it, so a lot of the fans and viewers and whoever, so alright, really appreciate that. And that all said, I really wish I could vocalize why I don't quite count it as a great one. I mean, it's, I don't know, kind of like what I said about Flight to the Finish, that it had greatness to it, but it just didn't catch fire quite enough to make me feel like it was above and beyond. But Flight to the Finish, I was able to pick out the points where I thought it was running on autopilot, where this, there's just nothing really wrong with it. It just didn't make me feel it quite that much, quite so much as, I don't know, Philly Vanilli or something like that. So, I don't know, I mean, it probably would be a great episode to some people, and if they were to explain to me why, I probably wouldn't disagree with anything they said. It's just, I don't know, like, all the great things about it are worth, to me, like an 8 or an 8.5 instead of a 10 or 9.5, so, just take that for what it's worth. But it is probably Spike's best episode. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of close with Inspiration Manifestation, the very last episode, in which I also said was his best to date, but I don't know, I kind of, like, the more I think about Equestria Games, like, I keep looking back on it fondly. I mean, there's just a lot to take away from it, and Inspiration Manifestation, while I thought it could have been great, it once you see, I mean, knowing where it's going to fall short ahead of time, I thought, on the other hand, makes it, like, lose its edge a little bit. So, okay, if nothing else, I do think that's the scale tipper, and, okay, actually, this episode kind of makes you appreciate how far they've come with Spike, how, all the way back in episode 3, I think it was, with, the Spike deliberately gagging at, the friends affirming their friendship, and Applejack chewing him out like, just like a boy, you can't handle the slightest bit of sentiment, just treating him like the friend's little brother in the group, and not an actual friend in the group himself, and then how all of his episodes sort of cast him in that light too. This one really makes you appreciate how far they've come with him, how everything they say to him, whether they disagree, whether even Pinkie Pie in her moment where she's just really getting into him singing the anthem, it's like they do take him seriously, they do consider him sort of an equal. So, okay, I think that if this season has nothing else over the first two, it definitely is the one that finally got Spike down, so, okay, big points there. But, alright, so, and then finally I think I'm gonna start naming my favorite side moments in episodes, and, okay. I got 3 here. The, first one is Bulk Biceps bench pressing Fluttershy, along with, his, barbell, and, okay, that's one. And then Rainbow Dash trying to play casual, that's another one. And then pretty much anything with Pinkie Pie in the stands, like even how they draw her from a distance, where just like the vague outline of her bouncing around while everyone is stationary, just, okay, all very well done there. So, okay, favorite moments there, side moments there, I should say, and that's pretty much it. And the other episode, the next episode, even though I think I'll be getting back to the comics first, is Twilight's Kingdom, which, I mean, they had some points with Twilight in this episode too, making you think it could have been about her, but okay, it looks like they're saving it all up for Twilight's Kingdom, and hence the title, so, alright, take care, see you there.
I'll be the toast of the town, the girl on the go, and the type of pony every pony should know. I'll be the one to watch the girl in the flow, and the type of pony every pony should know. Becoming as popular can be, making my mark in high society. I'm the belle of the ball, the star of the show, yeah, and the type of pony every pony should know.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, just send me enough money to retire at 24, and I promise I'll never make one again. And don't forget to send me your videos and fan art on the show for Viewer Appreciation Corner. Thanks for watching.